all organisms can play an important role in global issues. That's one of the most important lessons I learned from COVID-19. In nature, we also have a lot of small microorganisms. They can form biofilms, affect coastal erosion, water quality, and a lot of other environmental problems. And that's the issues my lab, the Environmental Transport Lab, is looking at. I'm Judy Yang, an assistant professor in the Department of Civil, Environmental and Geoengineering. I'm affiliated with St. Anthony Falls Laboratory. One of the many things we are investigating at the Environmental Transport Lab is biofilms. We often think about bacteria as single cells, but oftentimes they stick together and form biofilms, which are a cluster of bacterial cells and some polymers called EPS, which stick them together. They can clog our blood vessels, cause a lot of disease. They also occur in drinking water systems and contaminate our drinking water. In addition, in natural systems such as rivers, lakes, and coastal areas, they can glue sediment together and change how landscape evolve in nature. Biofilms have been widely studied in bioengineering in the context of human health. There are a lot of new technologies being invented, such as microfluidics, which are those tiny channels, and their sizes are smaller than the diameter of our hair. And we also have new microscopes, such as confocal laser scanning microscope, so that we can look into the internal structures of microbial biofilms and how they interact with the environment. However, those new technologies have seldomly been used in the context of environmental engineering, such as how sediment particles aggregate and how they interact with biofilms. And this is the research gap my group is going to fill in. It is important to study biofilms in the context of environmental engineering because biofilms are everywhere in nature, and they can affect coastal erosion by orders of magnitude. And to understand how those tiny biofilms affect large-scale environmental processes, we need to understand how they interact with flows and sediment at the micro scale, as well as how they can ultimately have huge impact on our environmental systems at the large scale. And that's the uniqueness of my lab, because we do experiments both at the micro scale using these different technologies such as microfluidics and confocal microscope. In addition, we also do experiments at the large scale to look at how they can have ultimate large-scale impact. Our ultimate goal is to bridge these two scales to look at how small-scale interactions can affect and have large-scale environmental impact. Our natural environment is a complex environment. It's both a physical system and a biological system, which is why at my Environmental Transport Lab, we are developing new interdisciplinary approaches with technologies from different scales to understand this complex system. Biofilms can do both good or harm to our environment and our health. What we are doing in my lab is trying to see how flows and the structures of surfaces affect biofilm growth. This knowledge can help us control biofilms in the future.